The new project Phantom Targets just dropped today, and I will walk you through every step that you need to do to finish that project. You have a total of 33 days as of the time of recording to complete it, and it's divided into two parts. Part 1 is already out right now. Part 2 is going to be in the game in 2 weeks from now. Okay, part 1 of the project says upgrade cargo elevator antennas. Shani is having trouble deciphering the phantom target showing up on her radars. Help set up a stronger signal in order to discern which arc is transmitting the targets. It says upgrade antennas found on top of cargo elevators. Now, first of all, we need to understand what cargo elevators are. And it says right here, Riventide Spaceport or them Battlegrounds. Cargo elevators are basically the locations where you exfil. Those locations have an antenna on top. You have to go to a total of 3 different antennas in order to complete this quest and interact with the antenna. Don't worry, it looks like it doesn't work once you've interacted with it, but it actually is just a visual bug that counts towards your progression. So go to 3 exfils and interact with the 3 antennas, and you should be done with the first step of part 1. The second quest of part 1 is where it gets a little bit more tricky and a little bit more spicy, because it reads, there's multiple theories going around about the origins of the phantom targets. Test out various arc parts in combat to check irregular behavior. For that, you have to deal damage to any arc using pop triggers, deal damage to any arc using wasp drivers, and deal damage to any arc using Leaper pulse units. There are a couple of ways that you can go about this. Honestly, the pop triggers for me were the most frustrating ones. You can loot pop triggers off of every dead pop, but the problem is that the pop triggers, once you place them down, move kinda randomly, and it's really hard to aim them properly. I've hit a bastion with 1 pop trigger that finished half of the quest. The second pop trigger, and you can use whatever method you want for that. The second pop trigger I launched while being inside the matriarch. As for the wasp drivers, as the name says, you get them from wasps. The way I have done is to throw 3 wasp drivers underneath a bombardier. For all 3 of these, you want to do them on bombardiers if possible, because bombardiers have less armor and therefore counts more towards your point progression. For the wasp drivers, I've thrown all 3 of them underneath a bombardier on Buried City. Don't forget though, you still have to shoot the drivers so they detonate and deal damage to the bombardier. That's the easiest way I found. You can go about this however you want though. The Leaper pulse units were a little bit more annoying, just because it's a little bit more annoying to farm them. Once you kill a Leaper, something between 1 and 3 Leaper pulse units can drop. You have to throw them underneath arc. I've tried throwing the Leaper units on top of turbines. That didn't really work out. I've tried throwing Leaper units underneath Leaper itself. That didn't work out pretty well. So once again, what I did is throw the Leaper unit underneath a bombardier while it was aggroed on me, and therefore it wasn't moving anymore, and waited for the Leaper unit to explode. You should get your points with 2 pop triggers, 3 wasp drivers, and probably 2 to 3 Leaper pulse units, depending on what you throw them on. With all that being done, you get to step 3 of part 1 of the Phantom Targets project. The third quest reads, Shani's data points to some behavioral changes in Arc. Test out different destruction methods to see how they react. For that, you have to damage Arc using fire damage items, like for example blaze grenades, fireflies, fireball burners, flame sprays. Destroy bastions, leapers, vaporizer, or rocketeers using energy weapons like the Aphelion, the Delabra, Jupiter, or the Equalizer. And lastly, destroy flying arc using launcher ammo weapons, like a Hullcracker or a Rascal. For the first part, where you have to damage arc enemies using fire damage item, I took 2 stacks of blaze grenades into a raid, and just as in last week's trials, I've thrown them at bombardiers. You only need around 4 blaze grenades to finish this quest. I've brought 2 stacks just in case something goes wrong, to have a couple spare. I went to Buried City and threw like the 4 blaze grenades at a bombardier, just like in last week's trials, and finished the quest. For the second part, where you have to destroy bastions, leapers, vaporizer, or rocketeers using energy weapons, I brought a Jupiter with 3 stacks of energy ammo and basically just went on the hunt for leapers, bastions, bombardier, like all the big arc basically. I think I've killed 1 rocketeer, 1 leaper, and 1 bastion on Riventides. As for the last part, you have to destroy flying arc using launcher ammo weapons like the Hullcracker or the Rascal. Obviously, I went with the Hullcracker because the Rascal is just trash and it reloads like slower than an elephant's getting a child. For this, I went to Blue Gate and basically killed absolutely everything that was flying. Snitches, fireflies, wasps, hell, even vaporizers. Once you get the notification in your top left corner that your quest is done, you can just extract and finish the quest. Once you've finished all 3 pages of part 1 of the Phantom project, you have to wait for part 2. As for rewards, they are quite okay, I would say. You get a Combat Mark III Aggressive for part 1, a Heavy Shield and a Vida Spray. For the second part of quests, you get a Jupiter, a Delabra, an Aphelion, and 50 Raider tokens. And for part 3, you get once again 50 Raider tokens, a Powered Descender, which is kind of fun to use, a Horizontal Grip, and the best of all, a Snap Hook. As always, we've done all this live on stream on twitch.tv/vanap. If this guide was any helpful to you, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. It would help me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. That being said, have a good one, have a great one. I'll catch you topside. Dude, that Leaper spawn gets me every time. Don't step on me, mommy. Come on, don't do me like that. Yo, anyone with a defib?
You're gonna ask me a bunch of questions? Is that what you were gonna do?
Hello there.
Yo, White Apex, thank you very much. Yo, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. We're gonna retry.